Lisa, it is not the greatest deja vu for Joe Burrow and the Bengals starting the season once again 0-2. What did Burrow tell you this week about how they're handling all of this?
Yeah, Laura, well, no one wants to start the season with consecutive losses, but if any team knows how to bounce back after a sluggish start, it's Cincinnati. They've started 0-2 for the last 3 seasons, and in fact are just 1-9 through the first 2 weeks since Joe Burrow became their starter back in 2020, which is probably why Burrow says he's not concerned. Frustrated, yes, he said, but panicking, no. Despite lingering questions about his throwing wrist following off-season surgery, Burrow said that has not limited him in any way this season, and he says he doesn't even really feel it when he's playing. Burrow said there's always a learning curve when you're coming back from a season-ending injury, and he believes his play has improved significantly from week 1 to week 2. They just haven't gotten the result. Now, Burrow will have all of his weapons available tonight, Laura, for the first time this season, with wide receiver T. Higgins making his season debut after being sidelined with a hamstring injury. But the Bengals would definitely be pushing the envelope if they do not get in the win column tonight. Since the league went to a 17-game schedule back in 2021, 10 teams have started 0-3. All 10 of them missed the playoffs.
Yeah, great number. Not so great if you're the Bengals. Maybe they can get it right tonight. Burrow, by the way, has gone 4-0 at home in prime time and has averaged over 300 yards passing in those games. So, Lisa, maybe he just needs the primetime game to get things going. Thanks to you. We'll see you at 8 Eastern over on ABC for that game. Let's stay on this game for a same-game parlay presented by ESPN Bet. We're going to go to RC for this. Yeah, parlay. Maybe we should have gone to you, Marcus, but I like doing these with RC. Joe Burrow over under 1.5 passing touchdowns tonight, RC.
You know what? I'm going to go over. You look back last week against the Washington Commanders, Daniel Jones hit Robinson and Malik Neighbors for a touchdown. I expect that Joe Burrow, who we saw operate well in the red zone against the Kansas City Chiefs, will find ways to put the ball in the end zone. And like you said, it's prime time, and Joe Burrow shows up when the brightest lights are on.
Jamar Chase has just over 97 receiving yards through 2 weeks. Over under 79.5 yards for the Bengals wideout tonight.
Well, listen, I sat with somebody, and sometimes you can hear what somebody's saying without them saying it. And Jamar Chase told me, he said, they know I want the ball. Last time that this team played in Week 3 on primetime was last year against the Rams. He had 12 catches for 141 yards. Sometimes you have to feed the beast, and after watching Malik Neighbors play against this man coverage from the Commanders last week, I expect Jamar Chase to have a night.
Let's go to the Washington side here. Jaden Daniels is averaging just over 270 total yards per game. That's passing and rushing. Over under 252.5 total yards tonight for the rookie quarterback.
I'm going over. I know I seem a little overzealous today. I don't know if you want to bet with me, but Jaden Daniels is a stat stuffer. The way that he passed the ball last week, though, showed me that he can operate from the pocket. And we know what he can do outside of the pocket when he gets moving, especially in space. And you've seen Cincinnati play defense so far this season. I believe that he'll find ways to rack up some yards, even if it doesn't equal a win for the Washington Commanders.
Gotta find a way.
RC, did you notice a theme there?
That I was never
of your parlay?
Under, I was always over. It's because I'm positive.
No, there are a bunch of overs, but all the
LSU cats, right?
Tigers.
Yeah.
That's
We're giving
because
you
we
an all
run
LSU
the
parlay
league.
right there.
Laura, we run the league. LSU.
Oh, jeez.
It's like the opposite of Connecticut.
Get them.
Hey, we got a big win this weekend now. We got a big win. The boys got a big win.
Get Dan started on the puppies over there. So we bring Adam Schefter back in ahead of this Commanders-Bengals game tonight, part of our doubleheader for Monday Night Football here on ESPN. And Adam, we heard Lisa Salters earlier in the show talk about T. Higgins potentially making his debut tonight. What more can you tell us?
He is expected to be out there, Laura. He is off the injury report, and the Bengals head coach Zach Taylor has said that T. Higgins is a go tonight, which means he will make his regular season debut in 2024 after missing the first 2 games due to that hamstring injury he suffered earlier this month. As for the Washington Commanders, ideally, they'd like to get the ball more to their number 1 wideout, Terry McLaurin, who has only 8 catches for 39 yards this season. He has not gotten the ball as much as they'd like. They'd like to get him the ball more often. He is going back to the state of Ohio, where he was a standout at Ohio State. We'll see whether the Commanders can make that happen. And speaking of going back to a place where they used to play, Gabe Davis goes back to Buffalo tonight after signing a 3-year, $39 million deal with the Jaguars in March. Had some big games for the Buffalo Bills. Never was able to string together consistent production, but will have a chance tonight to play against his former team to show them what they're missing in some of the wide receiver storylines going into tonight's doubleheader.
Yeah, Adam, he told me the big debate is going to be who gets his jersey at the end of the game because he's still buddies with all these Buffalo players, and they're all asking for the signed jersey and the jersey swap and the game's over. He doesn't know who he's going to give it to, so we'll have to stay tuned and find out who his favorite friend is, who his favorite Buffalo Bill is. Two LSU greats will square off on Monday Night Football tonight when reigning Heisman Trophy winner Jaden Daniels takes on Joe Burrow, who won the Heisman Trophy during the 2019 season while leading the Tigers to a national championship. This will be the third straight starting quarterback matchup in Monday Night Football history between Heisman-winning quarterbacks, along with Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield, and then Roger Staubach and Jim Plunkett. It's rare to see and pretty cool either way. All right, Marcus, where will your eyes be tonight when Jaden Daniels has the ball in his hands?
It'll be on Jaden Daniels, and it'll be quarterback design run, Boogie. I think they'll have to have a heavy dose of this. We saw Trey Hendrickson last week give the tackle a lot of problems for Kansas City. He's going to impact this game, and I think you slow this rush down a little bit by letting Jaden get on edges and potentially throw the football, but also use his athleticism. I want to put out a public service announcement, though, RC. Jaden Daniels, slide your ass down.
Yeah.
Stop getting hit by these big old dudes, man. It's a short-term career when you out there playing with that fire like that. But I expect to see some quarterback design runs. We know he can be explosive. Just protect yourself tonight, young fella.
And for me, it's not just about those design runs. It's about the RPO game. If you watch this game last week against the New York Giants, Jaden was controlling everything at the line of scrimmage. There were screens off of the RPO game. We watched Brian Robinson Jr. get down the field. And we also saw Terry McLaurin late in the game motion down and be able to catch a quick glance because we were watching Jason Pinnock, or Jaden Daniels was watching him. And I think this may be a way to keep some of that Trey Hendrickson rush off of Jaden Daniels. Cliff Kingsbury doesn't make Jaden Daniels do a ton at the line of scrimmage, but this is something he's extremely comfortable doing. And against a team in Cincinnati that hasn't stopped the run very well, this could be a way for Brian Johnson to get loose in the second level.
I love it, guys. You know what I don't love, though, is that we are all picking the Bengals. So Bengals across the board.
This is good, though.
I'm not changing
This is
my
good
pick,
because they were mad at us last week. Now we've picked them. Now they got to make us right.
No, they're going to be mad again.
No, this
curse
cool.
is real.
This curse is not real.
Don't nobody be mad, all right?
I'm telling you.
Now
I'm not dressed for
Marcus
Halloween
and
like
RC,
for nothing.
You guys head over to the Monday Night
This side
Countdown
profile
studio.
of my beard
You guys
is on
go ahead.
fleek.
We'll see you at the top of the hour on Monday Night Countdown. I don't want to see your beard. I want to see you out of the studio because you are going to Monday Night Countdown, Swagoo. Let's also talk about this other game between the Jags and the Bills here in Buffalo. And much of the conversation has been around this Jags offense not living up to maybe what we thought they would be heading into this season. Trevor Lawrence has owned a lot of that. You heard him say it last week after their loss. He said, our offense sucks right now. And one of the things that Doug Peterson said is that he liked that Trevor said that, but they want to figure out exactly what he meant by it. And that's been a lot of the conversation ahead of this one, working specifically on third down and red zone. But the main thing being just put the ball in play. That's what he wants most for Trevor Lawrence, not forcing it downfield, trying to make something happen all at once instead of just taking what he can get. Got to get Christian Kirk more involved tonight. You'll probably see Gabe Davis involved. Of course, he makes his return to Buffalo. They'll do everything they can to get those weapons and maybe early completions for Trevor Lawrence to build his confidence in an environment that they know will be very loud and potentially hostile. That's something that Bills fans pride themselves on, so we're not offending them there. Let's get you a little bit more information on this game. And, of course, with the start of last season, Trevor Lawrence has been one of the league's best quarterbacks against zone coverage, ranking first in QBR while throwing the second most touchdown passes in the league. On Monday Night Football, he'll look to keep that going against one of the best zone coverage units in the NFL. Over the same span, Buffalo's defense ranked 6th in opponent QBR when using zone while allowing just 5 touchdown passes to 16 interceptions. Mina, let's look at that Jags offense. Where do you want to see improvement tonight?
You know, my thoughts are actually pretty similar to something Coach Peterson told you there, which is I wanted to put the ball in play, not force it downfield. Because in the trenches, I think the Bills' four-man rush does have an advantage against the Jags' offensive line that's given up a lot of sacks. However, at that second level, at linebacker, that's where I think Trevor Lawrence, with his quick release, has an advantage. I want to see Brian Thomas Jr. on shallow crossers, Evan Ingram working the middle of the field, getting yards after the catch, to me, should be a priority for this Jags offense in this one.
Yeah, so first down is going to be everything for this football team. If they're not efficient and successful on first downs, the Buffalo Bills, because the Bills' pass rush is going to go four deep with Epinesa, Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, and Von Miller. This Jags offensive line is not capable of handling. So I think first down, I really believe that this is a Tank Bigsby, Travis Etienne night. As much as Trevor Lawrence, and he's got to play well, and no question, they got to run the football at Buffalo. Like this is a situation. You're on the road. It's what they do best. I think it's who they want to be. Get downhill, put two tight ends on the field, and you're talking about a backup nickel in Ingram and a backup linebacker in Balin Spector. Both of them played well. You got to come prove to me that you can stop the run 35, 40 carries tonight. I think those two backs have a big night.
On the Buffalo side of things, Josh Allen smiling on the sideline. He's loving this offense despite the fact that he's not throwing it much. What stuck out to you about the way that the Bills have had success so far?
All 11 on offense are part of it. It has a Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay type of feel where, these receivers, they're committed to be blockers in the run game. And, he's taken the simple and presented it as confusing to a defense. They don't run a gajillion plays. They just run them out of a bunch of different formations. I think Josh knows the complete element of their football team, the dominant element of the offensive line. That gives him a ton of comfort. I don't think that Buffalo's saying be a lesser Superman. They're just asking him to be Superman less. And he's embracing that right now.
Yeah, they're a democracy. We started this show by I was complaining about the Chiefs' offense being too reliant on Rashee Rice and how fragile it felt. This Bills offense, you could take out one of those skill players, and sorry, behind you guys. And I think that would be fine. Some days it'll be a Shakir game. Some days it'll, what is that guy's name? Billy the Buffalo? Maybe it'll be Billy Buffalo catching passes out there. I genuinely believe Josh Allen could throw to him and he would catch a touchdown. Sure.
Thank you. I didn't know you guys. That's unbelievable. You're my guy,
Dan,
Billy. Can I
that's a
get that
flattering
shirt?
face. I think it won't fit you, Dan.